Hey everybody, so it is another Monday, and I thought I'd start off the first Monday of the year explaining some things that were asked on the last video from last year, which was my Mixdown video. The biggest thing that everybody was talking about was the drums. The drums, yes. So, now some of these questions came in private, and so I'm not going to give any names out to anybody who said anything, but there's some questions asked. So we'll start off with, were they real? Yes. Those drums were actually played by an actual person. It's a friend of mine, Paul Stewart. Hasn't played drums, I don't think, for about 20 years. And it's quite sad because he was very good at it, and I miss working with him. And we were part of a band called Hollow Spirit. We were getting, we actually were working with a producer, and he had a Tascam 464, similar to this one, but not this one. This is mine. I bought this myself. You've seen that one many times on the show here. And so the nice thing was that we started recording. And we originally started recording on the 464. We had all the drums done. So if you look, see if I can get it to shine there enough to see. The very first song on this cassette, which you really can't see, is Just for a Kiss. See if I can get it if I take it out of the case. There you go. Well, it just showed up and then it disappeared. There it comes. Just for a Kiss. So it is. This was the recording I did a few years ago with my friend Dean. We originally recorded it on we had, like I said, we were starting to record on this and we had just finished the drums, and then we had moved on to an 8-track version of the recordings, or like 8-track as in like a reel. So if you ever see the picture that I have of the big reel, which I'm at some point going to have to find somebody who can mix it down or can get it off so I can put it onto my DP32 and actually do a nice mix down of it. That's one of my goals in life right now. Maybe this is the year to do that. And so that was done on. So like I said, we had like this and a little bit of guitars on the other 2 tracks, or 1 track, or however it worked out. But we never got any further with it, so the drums were still clean on this. So it was just drums on this one. And my what happened? And then the band, we had issues, and the band broke up. And it was a little bit of bad blood for a couple months, but we ended up being friends in the end, which is good. But we never released anything. And then I think it was 2012 or whatever, Dean came to me and said, "Can we finish these recordings?" And I said, "Sure. Let me buy the 32 track that I want," because I didn't know how long this was going to last anymore when we were doing it. So I didn't want to do another one on this one, because I had just finished the For My Dear Friend recordings for my friend that passed away, and I didn't want to go any further with it. I didn't want to take a chance on it. So that answers that question. Yes, they're real. Yes, they were recorded on an analog 4-track, and it was done with not very expensive equipment, like the microphones and all that. And honestly, I think the drums sound great on that recording. And I give a lot of kudos to Paul, who, like I said, is just an amazing drummer. Even the drum set was, I would say, low to mid range. It wasn't a very expensive drum set. He had some really good cymbals. I know that he was very particular about his cymbals, but he was a really good player, and it really shows on those recordings. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 was, well, I was asked, was it done on a digital 4-track, because they wondered how I got it transferred down. No, it was done using one of these. Like, this is 464. Sorry, I got the numbers wrong. Now, the reason why I was able to do it is, on this particular model, these RCA jacks here, they are track outputs. So track 1, 2, 3, 4, and from there I just went input onto my DP32 for each of the tracks, and then I didn't have to fight with trying to link up guitar and vocals and all this other stuff, because I had everything already on there, and it was all played at the same speed. As if you've ever worked with tape machines, they vary in speed, even from play to play they can vary, and it can be really frustrating and difficult to try to match the song up again. But like I said, because this thing was able to play all 4 tracks simultaneously and in parallel into the other system and keep them separate, I was able to do that. And then the other question was, were they originally recorded in stereo? Yes, the drums were originally recorded in stereo, because the concept was, on a 4-track you have 4 tracks, and we were going to do 2 stereo tracks of the drums, and then bounce 1 track for guitar, bounce the other track for the other guitar track, bounce it back. If you've ever, it's a long process, and it's fun. It really makes you think, but it is a lot more fun doing it on a larger system, and that was why we did decide to go to the reel-to-reel 8-track, because it was just it was more tracks to deal with, and we could get more shit done that way. And sorry, and it was, but like I said, there was issues, there was complications, and tensions, and it was just, the whole recording was taking way too long, and it was causing stress between everybody in the band, and that's why inevitably the band broke up. That it was too much for everyone. And that's about all I got for you today on this video. I hope that answers all your questions. If you have any other questions, like I said, put them in the comments. I will answer them. I am always willing to help. And I've also had people reach out and say, can you listen to my songs? I will listen to your songs. I'm fine with that. I will not critique your lyrics. I will critique the sound. Like, if I find that the guitars are too loud, I'll tell you. If I find the vocals too quiet, I'll tell you. I will let you know how things sound to me. I don't believe in critiquing somebody else's music, because it's their thoughts, it's their ideas, it's what they want to project. But I will critique if I find that something is too loud, too quiet. I've had some people where it had no low end, because it was because of the way they were listening to their music. I've had other ones where they buried the vocals too much. You couldn't hear the vocals enough. That's what you're going for, and that's great. But if you're not, then it throws it off. But once again, if you want me to listen to your stuff, send me a link to it. I will get back to you. Look for my private email. I think if it's in my about, you can find it there. And yeah, I'm glad to help. Look for me on Facebook, although I am contemplating quitting Facebook. it's been past about 2 years worth of, I don't know, maybe I should just quit, but I haven't decided yet. So I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I would drop everything that I have so you and I could be together. I'd split ties with my friends if you felt that it would be better, yeah.